Welcome back to the Meeple Marathon. Today we are going to be doing a reboxing of Tanares Adventures. Now, mostly everything in here is what came with the game, but I rearranged a few things and I also added a few completely free elements that have been helping me get the game in and out of the box. We'll talk about those here in a second, but mainly I wanted to show off where all the various components, especially the cardboard components, fit for Tanares Adventures. So here is the lid. We're just going to slide this off, and right off the bat here you're going to see something that doesn't quite fit, but that's okay. So this right here, this white box with the fancy ribbon handles on it, is actually from Thunderstone Quest by AEG. So if you happen to know someone who recently has backed Thunderstone Quest, or I have no idea if AEG is ever going to be selling these, but they basically, in their most recent Kickstarter, produced an insert that fit into the top of the box that was just like what else is underneath here. It was plastic. It didn't allow anything else to be fit up there, and so they started sending backers these, and somehow I ended up with two. So if you happen to know someone who has backed Thunderstone Quest recently, check with them. They may have an extra one of these boxes. If not, this works just fine. I was using this until I stumbled across this and was like, hey, that, there's a little bit more room for some extra dice in here or something like that. But just slide this on top. Now, this is one of my big rearrangements, is putting the books on top. These little finger holes right here make this really easy to come out. If you're going to use this and keep it on top, just throw some tape back here. It'll help hold it together and make it even that much more easier to come in and out of the box. But the point is that you're putting all of the paper materials on top, which you do for most games. That means that the largest tray with all the cards in it does not have to be picked up in and out of the box every single time, because it would not last like that. So essentially all of the rule books, the quest books, the journal, everything fits in here nicely. Again, I am using this as a complete option, or completely optional, because I simply had it lying around. If not, just use the cardboard that came in the bottom of the box. So I'm just going to lift that out. Now, here you'll see one of the other additions I have. Tucked along the sides here, I have 4 ribbons. Well, it's actually 2 ribbons, 2 very long ribbons, that I have fitted underneath both miniatures trays. That's going to allow me to lift out these miniatures trays quite easily, because in designing this box and these trays, these little gaps in the corner are not sufficient for lifting this out. It has been a complete bear to lift these miniature trays in and out of the box on a regular basis. I don't know why they didn't put like finger holes somewhere in here. Complete oversight on their part. It's not that big of a deal, but these 2 ribbons came from an Amazon gift bag that we have sitting around left over from Christmas. So if you have recently got a gift from Amazon where somebody gifted you something and they decided to gift wrap it, it's probably come in a bag, and there's probably ribbons like these that you can easily just yank off the top. If not, the next time you order something from Amazon, send it to yourself as a gift and have it gift wrapped. You'll end up with some ribbons like this. Now, these are just kind of all over the place right now. I intend to shorten them up and turn them into legitimate loops, but that's, a sewing project down the road. I just want to show you, just by simply holding on to these here, all 4 at the same time, how quickly and easily I am going to get both miniature trays out of this box at the same time. There we go. And they're both out. Now, the bottom of the box, like I already stated, is the card tray. So all of the cards and the rest of the cardboard components is going to live in the bottom of the box. It is never going to be lifted out. So help me God. There's no way. This is too heavy. There's, again, no place to grab it, and the plastic is too cheap. It would not last if you had to constantly lift this out just to get to the rule books and the journal in the bottom. So leave this in the bottom. Give yourself something like these ribbons to easily lift the miniature trays out. So I'm gonna tip this just like this so that I can set these up. Whoops, I didn't mean to grab the lid there. So what is stored in these along with the miniature trays is pretty straightforward. I've got all of my just kind of health tracker tokens right here, all the little tiny tokens right here, and then just cards. You can decide how you want to organize the cards. It's completely up to you. All right, so there's one tray. And then this other tray, you've got the large kind of placard cards right here that are a little tricky to get out, I'll be perfectly honest with you. Then you've got all of your villain cards divided up right here. And then I have right here in this tray all of the skill tokens. So these are going to be ones that have 1, 2, and 3 on them. They've got that on the back side. The skill tokens do not fit in one of the trays on the other miniature tray, or one of the compartments. There's too many of them. They're too wide. So put the token trays in here. Put your large cards right there. I mean, pretty straightforward, pretty self-explanatory. All right, this last part is where things get to the point where you might want to, do this a couple times so you remember where everything goes. This little plastic ring here with this cardboard piece is supposed to slip down on top of it. This is for when you're doing the boss fights. And depending on which way the boss is facing, depends on which kind of tactics it uses. And this actually just fits right there. It doesn't sit higher than this level or this level, so it doesn't throw anything off. It could sit right here, just anywhere down here over top of these. Then on the very top here, you have the 2 oversized tiles, okay? And then underneath that is the 4, or is it just 3? No, 4 square tiles. It's important that these go down first because there's a little notch right here. They fit in right there and pretty much stay put. I say that and then they don't. But then there's a notch right here that fits these. So put them in that order. Then over here, the only thing that really doesn't have a spot is these right here. I don't know if maybe these are meant to fit into one of the miniatures trays. It probably actually will work. Actually, I think I did try that, and I just decided it'd be better to throw them down. Let's test it out right here, right now. Boom, look at that. So you could throw them right there if you want. I'll even just leave them right there. But it felt kind of weird having them separated from the rest. Anyways, here are the 2x4s sitting over top of all of the cubes. Now, if you leave the cubes in the bag, they don't quite fit into here as nicely. They don't lay as flat. So that's why I put those on that side. Unfortunately, there's not really enough room to double these up. You can see that they just barely overlap, so I stuck those in there. And that's also why, I was just filling in that space. So 2x4s, covering up those. Then you have your, I think it's like 2 of these 3x3 squares sitting over top of a single layer of 1x1s, sitting over top of quite a decent stack of 2x2 squares, and then in the very bottom is these 1x2s. So you can see as you do it in reverse, it does all kind of make sense. So 1x2s fit down into there. Then the only thing that can fill this gap right here are the 2x2 squares. And then there's another gap right here. Well, no. Sorry. Then you take a single layer of these guys. Again, you could throw them over here if you wanted to, but they fit right there. And then that. And there you go. Again, we're putting these down first. Then these, I'll flip them over because they were warping a little bit. It's very humid here. And there you go. Voila. So, if you have any questions, please feel free to let me know in the comment section below. One important thing to note is that this is the largest card tray right here. I actually have it empty though, but there is additional space for more cards and or sleeved cards. I don't know if every single card would fit in here sleeved. You know, there's some room here for the smaller cards, but the important thing is don't go higher than this level right here. So you can't take a stack and set it so it sits, you know, way up like that, because then the big large square and rectangle tiles would not lay flat. So just an important point to note, but plenty of card storage just to simply divide those out as you see fit. See, this is the part right here. The cards have to be below that level right there, or none of this lays flat. All right, so that is going to do it for our reboxing video. If you happen to come up with a better solution for pulling out the miniature trays other than ribbon like this, please let me know. I'd love to hear it. Let me know in the comment section below, and I will be happy to, you know, put out another video on the channel. These just are way too tight in the box, way too difficult to get in and out even. I've been using to drop them in as well, just to simply not have to like jam my fingers down the sides. But there you go. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up, and if you'd like to see more videos like this in the future, please consider subscribing to the channel. Once again, thanks for watching. Have a great day.